The deserted streets were dead as we traversed through the quarter. Decatur Street stood empty and boarded up with messages spray-painted into the wood. We turned up a side street towards Jackson Square. Debris and rubble lined the streets, mostly branches and limbs. We skirted around Jackson Square, looking at it from the corner and the far side. The cathedral stood tall, with copper from its roof strewn about the square. Branches and debris covered everything, and the lone statue of Andrew Jackson on his horse seemed to be a ghost, rising from the desolate emptiness in the gray. We ducked up on Royal Street and saw much of the same desolation. As we ventured further in, broken glass began to line the little cobblestone streets, and I noticed the busted windows all around. Looters had ransacked the insides, taking what they wanted. Nothing was open. The doors that were normally bustling with hawkers and customers lay silent and closed up tightly. It was quiet. The clouds rolled in now, and the sun ceased to be available to us. The whole atmosphere was ominous, to say the least. We reached Canal from Royal and once again waded in about a foot of water. Canal, too, remained silent. The 1950s storefronts of Canal usually lit up with deals and alluring displays, but they lay dark and silent that day. Shattered glass clung to busted windows, and streets were littered with mismatched tennis shoes left behind looters. Boxes floated in the shallow water, and busted glass clung to almost every establishment. Yet Canal stood quiet and deserted in its ruin. I noticed that Reese's tattoo shop lay untouched. Reese bounced between the roles of a bail bondsman and a tattoo shop owner, a friend and enemy, and everything else in between. He must have been in there somewhere, wielding a bat at the impending intruders. We shouted up to him, but our calls were met with dead silence. When we turned onto Bourbon from Canal, we were once again met with the emptiness of complete desertion. It was really scary to be standing on Bourbon Street in silent stillness. The wind was the only thing that moved. The doors were normally crowded with hawkers and bustling with customers, but they lay silent and closed. The neon lights had disappeared, and in those moments, the eerie silence on Bourbon Street was deafening. We walked down Bourbon in disbelief as we got closer and closer to the heart of the quarter. Somewhere near St. Peter, we heard voices spilling out in a wondrous cacophony in the eerie quiet of Bourbon Street without electricity. Formerly bustling with bars, people, and alcohol spilling everywhere, Bourbon Street lay broken and boarded up. Smiles of relief spread across our faces as we discovered the only life that flourished in the French Quarter. We walked towards the sound, and we realized that Johnny White's bar was open.